Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Frank, and today in front of me we have the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. Let's go ahead and let's get into this review. And before we get into the review of the video, I do want to quickly shout out Toyota or Millennium Toyota. Check them out. Check out the description below. Make sure to contact them if you have any interest in any Toyota Land Cruiser. They have this one right here, and they have a white one in the showroom as well. Thank you guys for giving me this one to review. Make sure to check them out in the description below. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the review. So before we get into the full review, I just want to note that I do actually have a new camera that we're filming on. So hopefully this footage looks better than the previous videos. Let's go ahead, let's start out this review underneath the hood, of course.
Alright guys, so under the hood is the 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it's assisted by 2 electric motors. That is right, this is a hybrid powertrain. Toyota is calling it the iForce Max, and it's going to produce 326 horsepower with 465 pound-feet of torque, and it's going to be mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission.
Pretty strong torque numbers, but you guys let me know in the comments below whether you think that Toyota did a good job on this engine. One thing to note underneath the hood is obviously there's a lot of lines going everywhere. It looks extremely discombobulated underneath the hood. There are a bunch of tubes and wires. I'm assuming that this is going to be where your hybrid power plant is really located, the main hybrid power plant, just judging by these extremely thick electrical wires that are running from it. That's my guess. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that though. Also, one thing to note is that this truck does have a price tag of $70,000. Just about, we'll go over the exact one in just a second. And as you can see, it has a manual hood strut right here to help prop the hood open. So just keep that in mind. Starting off on the front end of the Toyota Land Cruiser, you can see, again, full redesign. The Toyota Land Cruiser is an iconic SUV. 2024, like I said, here we are with the brand new one, full redesign. I think they did a really good job overall on the design elements of the new Land Cruiser. Starting off on the front end, you can see these beautiful LED headlights on here, this extremely large front grille with your Toyota spelled out there in the front. And now dropping down a little bit lower, you can see we do have the fog lights right in here. And on this lowermost area, you have what appears to be a front end skid plate, although it seems to be very small, not much protection on that end. And you can see on the lower area on here, you actually have some air dams. It looks to be on there too. Not the most stylish having those all the way down there, but it is what it is. And now coming down to the front end on here, as you can see, you do have small little fog lights in here that say rigid on it. The overall boxiness and design of the new Land Cruiser is very fitting. As you can see on here too, you have more air vents, which are actually functional. So thank you, Toyota, for not just making that fake. Very nice to actually have functional air vents on an SUV, not just a performance car. So again, thank you, Toyota, for that. Overall, though, I think the design elements on the new Land Cruiser look really good, but the big thing I know that a lot of people have a gripe with this is just the overall price tag. So you guys let me know in the comments below if you think that the new Toyota Land Cruiser is worth $70,000 or not. Again, there are a few other things that could be added to this one, but this one has a good amount of options in it. Now, taking a step back and taking in the overall views of the Land Cruiser, this color, on the other hand, is absolutely beautiful. This is smoky blue. That's what Toyota's calling this one. I think it looks actually really good, and I think it fits this this SUV perfectly well. The upper portion, as you can see, is actually white, so it's a really nice two-tone look, and with the black trim and black accents running throughout, along with those dark gray wheels, I think it looks really well and really put together. So again, props on you, Toyota, for making this look very good. You can see now that overall design elements on the exterior are very boxy, very sharp lines. As you can see right here on the front bumper, we have very sharp lines sticking out. You have these large fender flares that pop out. Your beautiful side mirrors on here finished in gloss black with lighting running throughout the side right here. Looks very nice. More black on here as well. Black accents. You have gloss black door handles on here. Lots and lots and lots of black accents. On the lower area right here, you can see the side step rail right here. Made of like a hard plastic, unfortunately. As you can see, it has a little bit of bend in there. So this is not full metal, even though they are trying to obviously go with that look of a full metal. Side step on here, again, not full metal. It is a plastic cover. Let's go ahead now. Let's touch on the wheel design on here too, because again, I think they actually fit the Land Cruiser very well. So on the front and rear end, you're going to have 20-inch wheels. There's going to be 265 by 60s, and again, these 20-inch wheels. Beautiful silver on here too. Now, one thing I do want to also touch on before we move on back in here is that all the wheels on here are the 20-inch alloy wheels. It's actually an added option. It's about a $1,300 option, and on top of that, with speaking of options, it actually has the premium package. So that is a $4,600 option, which includes a very long, lengthy list of different items in here, including the JBL speakers, the cooler box inside, which I'll show you in a little bit. So let's go ahead though, let's continue on the review, moving on to the back end. Now, as we make our way to the rear end of the Land Cruiser, touching up on the top, again, you do have this two-tone design up here, finished in white, and you do have black roof rails running across here. Just to keep note, there are no crossbars that you get with this one. You just have the side roof racks right on here and right on here, so just keep that in mind. Now, as we make our way to the rear end of the new Land Cruiser, as you can see, it looks really, really good. A couple of things to note, obviously, again, full redesign. So we have brand new rear end taillight designs on here. It looks very, very, very nice. Here's the iForce Max badge right here, finished in chrome. I don't know why they did that and didn't just black it out like everything else is. As you can see, you have your black Land Cruiser badge right here and your black Toyota nameplate right in here. Coming up, you can see right here, there's a small button. Go ahead and click this button right here. This will unlock and allows you to open the rear end glass. And now with the simple click of a button, you are able to fully open up the trunk. And here is your full-fledged rear trunk space. This back here looks fantastic. I think Toyota did a very nice job back here. As you can see, we have this very large full rubber mat for the rear end area over here. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. We do have a bunch of cargo tie-down ports, as you can see back here as well. Do have cup holders in the rearmost area, along with two charging ports over here for the brand new iPhones, actually. And right in here, as you can see, there are more storage areas in here, along with more storage areas right here on the side as well. And that's really it, honestly, for the rear area of the Land Cruiser. Let's go ahead, though. Let's jump onto the interior now, and let's take a look at some of the new interior features. Jumping in the new Land Cruiser, as you can see, here's the key. It does say Land Cruiser on it. Very, very nice key. Here's the other side of it. You have lock, unlock. You hold this for the rear trunk to open, and of course you have your panic button. This truck does offer, obviously, keyless entry, and when you enter and exit keylessly, the mirrors do fold in and out, just like that. So, taking a look on the inside of the new Land Cruiser, as you can see, lots and lots of new screens and new designs in here. Toyota is really stepping up their game. Let's go ahead, let's jump inside and take a look. So obviously this is a push button start SUV at the end of the day. Here is your power button. Go ahead, start that up. Here is your full digital gauge cluster, along with your infotainment screen in the center. Really nice integration, I think. So you have your full digital dashboard right in here. And as you can see, it's all connected via this one piece of trim to make it all look like it's part of one single area. So again, pretty nice job with that. And again, this truck is $70,000, so keep that in mind. Anyway, going ahead and taking a look around in here, as you can see, lots and lots of leather. Everything looks very nice. Everything feels very nice. It feels like a Toyota at the end of the day, but I think it feels a little more luxurious than your standard Toyota, again, as it should feel with something of this price caliber. So, steering wheel overall design looks very nice, pretty rugged. We do have the Toyota logo built into here. There's no actual Toyota badge in here. It just says Toyota on it. That seems to be a pretty common thing throughout the Land Cruiser, is instead of having this badge on it, it just says Toyota. Steering feel overall, full leather wrapped, heated of course, feels very, very nice. Tons of your typical button controls on here for your steering wheel, so nothing too crazy. As you can see, you do have your full digital cluster screen right in here, obviously fully controlled via these buttons right on here. Moving on to our actual infotainment screen, extremely responsive. All your typical controls are going to be in here, really nothing again to write home about. It is a pretty standard screen. Everything looks pretty good. And as you can see on here, there are a few different controls in here. In your vehicle settings, you can go to off-road information, because after all, this isn't meant to be off-road worthy. As you can see on the right, you do have your angle and pitches for your departure and everything like that. You do have a couple of different modes. So right now we are in high 4 in normal mode. And as you switch through them from eco to normal to sport, It actually does change it a little bit on your main digital cluster on here too. Couple of other things to note. Your climate control is completely separated on the screen, so thank you Toyota for that. I know a lot of people do not like that. I am one of those people. I don't believe in having to go into the screen and touching it in order to lower my AC. It's nice to actually have everything separated. So SUV does come with cooled seats along with heated seats, of course. You have a dual climate control right here, dual zone, passenger and driver seat, everything gets separated. Heated steering wheel button will be on here as well. Otherwise, all your basic climate controls are going to be on here too. Underneath in here, you do see we have a camera button, and as you can see up here, after it does that little animation of scanning all around you, you have a little above 360 view, which is pretty cool. And as you can see on these buttons right here, you can change it, which is pretty nice. Moving a little lower, as you can see, we have a wireless phone charger, a little more storage right over here, and a few charging ports for varying phones. You have two large cup holders right here in the shapes of squares, pretty unique shapes. And in the center area is obviously going to be your gear selector. Again, here's your mode select button, which is used to change these modes on here. Underneath that are your different drive mode buttons again, which you can also use to change it. Here's your MTS mode, and below that is your crawl control mode. So again, very typical. This SUV is technically made for heavy off-roading. Whether anyone is really going to do it in this, I hope so. Moving a little lower, you do see electric parking brake. Unfortunately, you do have auto hold, which comes standard in here as well. And down here are your more fun switches. So here's your low 4 and your high 4 gear. In order to switch into those, it's just using this little toggle. Not that big of a fan of that, but it is what it is. Traction control, you do have your differential locker right here, along with your rear diff locker right here, your stabilizer bar locker right here. Now, moving on to the overall seat comfortability, these seats are very comfortable. I mean, they're full leather wrapped. Everything in here is pretty much full leather, feels absolutely excellent. Again, you have the perforations in here for your cooled seats, and along with that, you do have the just full black leather with white stitching running throughout. Really, really nice job. Really, really good comfort level, I would say, on here. So definitely comfortable. It feels like for longer road trips, along with, I guess, off-roading in that case too. And now one really, really, really cool thing that the Toyota Land Cruiser does feature is right inside of here. Looks like your ordinary center area, storage area. You have your armrests on here, wrapped in leather, white stitching. But when you lift it up, it's actually a cool box is what they call it. So right in here, as you can see a little bit, there's actually a fan in here blowing out very cold air. And this is all insulated, so you can actually put stuff in here to keep them pretty cold. And I mean, putting my hand in here right now, it actually feels very cold. And as you can see right here is the little cool box option. You can click that on and off, so you can actually use it if you wish as a normal storage area, or click it on and it will keep everything nice and cool inside of here for your hot summer days, going to the beach or going off-roading. Now let's go ahead, let's jump into the rear end passenger, the rear end seats of the Land Cruiser. Go ahead and close this up. As you can see, we have a JBL speaker right here on the side door. Pretty much no crazy door controls throughout the front and the rear end of here. For back here, all your passengers are getting are just the rear window controls. That's it on the door. The center area, of course, has your separated climate control right here. So you're able to control everything from back here, along with a few more charging ports right here. So pretty standard stuff. Center area, of course, does have a center cup holder rest right here. And you do have your seats right here. All of these seats do fold all the way down, giving you more storage space connected to the rearmost area into here. So just keep that in mind in case that is not enough storage in the back for you. But yeah, other than that, there's really nothing else to talk about back here. Overall comfort level, pretty nice. I have a pretty good legroom right here, excellent headroom, and you have a little bit of view of that little sunroof that comes with this too. All right, guys, and that is going to wrap up today's video on the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. Let me know in the comments again below if you think this is worth the price tag or not. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a faster video, and I'm also recovering from a little bit of a cold, so sorry if I sound a little sick. Remember, guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I post next, because it helps me out a ton. And I look forward to seeing you guys all in the next video.
Ryan Little.